Alright, we're going to go ahead and get started here. Let me just open up the chat. Let's see here. Make sure I got that turned off. We do. Alright, so welcome back with Pete from Rage Quit Wire Painting on the final round stream page. We're going to go ahead and work on a Godtear group champion that I really enjoyed painting the champion, and now I'm going to paint up the followers. I thought this would be kind of cool to do it this way because you guys can see that I don't need my headset, but you guys can see that I painted up Rhodri already because I wanted to get my full paint scheme. Plus I actually messed a little bit with non-metallic metals, which I'll do in this video as well. That'll be the last thing I do just because that's the most intensive thing that you got to do on this. And yeah, it turned out really well. I'll show you what Rhodri looks like and then we'll get started with the dwarfs. I wanted to stream today. I ended up going back to work this week, like actually going in. So it's been harder to stream, but we'll go ahead and show you guys what we got so far with Rhodri. Used a lot of blues and grays and obviously a snow base. Obviously, I'm not good with non-metallic metals yet, so I didn't want to do it on everything that I was doing with Rhodri. So really easy paint scheme except for the non-metallic metal, but I'll show you guys how I kind of manage that as well. But he turned out pretty well, and I'm going to basically do the same thing, same paint scheme with his little dwarf followers, the household guard. So we're going to do the same thing with them, and we'll even do it with the banner, because if you look at the banner, it has the same effect that his sword does. So we're going to do the same effect that we did with his sword. So we'll go ahead and get started with actually painting them up. Let's see here, let's get these swords kind of done. Where's my little handle? That's the question. There it is. These even... So yeah, this started playing a lot of Rhodri, and he's interested in the game, but the main thing is he's just a dwarf, so I gotta give him just a lot of cool points just because of that. And I feel like a lot of people are gonna take Rhodri just because he's a dwarf. Yeah, so the swords that I'm doing with the non-metallic metal, I'm actually putting like a dark blue on as their first layer. And when we actually start doing the non-metallic metal, it'll make sense why we're doing it that way. Because you got to kind of blend. It's weird. You got to kind of blend to your darkest color. And that's going off of your darkest color, but you're also kind of going with some whites to kind of slowly blend into your dark color. Like I said, not good at it yet, but I wasn't too upset with my first attempt on this sword for Rhodri. Main thing is I just wanted the dwarf sword to look different, and it definitely accomplished that effect. I know it doesn't exactly look like the most perfect metallic sword, but I think it looks cooler than if I just did it normally with just some metallic paints. Alright. Yeah, I'm taking also a break from, I put together a lot of that Space Marine stuff for the Final Round Game Shop because I'm painting that on stream as well. I painted up the drone, the Blight drone, and the Terminator Lord. But I was like, I need a Space Marine break. I've been putting this stuff together for a while. It can be a little intensive to do that. I think it's actually interesting because we just had Nathan talk about how he put a desert base for Rhodri. And the thing is, there's still a lot of background information come up. And as far as I've heard Sherwin talk about the fluff and background, that some of the people that you would think would be in a snow area are not. And Half Tusk is a really good example. That I put a snow base for Half Tusk, and I think he lives on like a tropical island. So the fluff is not apparent yet for some of these models. So Rhodri may live in arid mountains. He might not live in cold mountains. So maybe you're good with your desert theme base there, Nathan. But I went with snow just because I was like, oh no, at dwarves, mountains, traditionally you're going to see snow. Plus the blues and stuff I used on him. I mean, I think it just pops better with a snow base, just that white with the blue contrast. And obviously the reds that I put on there too. So yeah, I think you just got to go with what you think looks cool. Because we were kind of joking around in our group chat. And one of the things we were joking around about was with Half Tusk being from a tropical island, right? And we were like, well, maybe Half Tusk just went on vacation. All right, let's get some of this gold out of the way. So we're going to use this Rulic gold, which of course goes with dwarves very well. Love these bear insignias. I don't know, they're the household guard, so I'm going to assume that this bear insignia that you see on Rhodri and his followers, that it's Rhodri's crest would be my guess. And it's really cool. I like it. It's interesting too because his banner has his household crest, but then it's also attached to what looks like one of Rhodri's swords. Alright. I think we're good there. Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to check that out, Nathan. That's one thing I like about the Godtear Facebook group is right now, at least, it seems like an area where people are looking for tips on how to paint their stuff and make their stuff look cool, which is refreshing because I feel like a lot of the miniatures Facebook pages turn into net listing pages. So for me, it's been really refreshing to check on the Godtear page and just read, and not even read, just look at the pictures of what people are painting. Because right now I do feel like that, obviously we're not focused on a competitive scene with Godtear right now, which might change in the future, who knows, but I love the fact that I see so many painted models going up on that. Because I think these models do lend themselves to be painted, and just since it's a low model count and there's so much character to it, people put a lot more time painting these models. Plus, you look at the scale of the champions, and that just lends itself to more detail. So I really love what Steamforged did with that, where it's like, yep, we want to focus on the champions, make them a little bigger, that'll make people paint them, and it definitely has been true. I've seen a ton of people painting their stuff. The shield kind of has a mustache. It's kind of funny. I'm going to slam you with my mustache shield. Alright, cool. Alright, I think you're good with all your bronze. Okay. Yeah, I've never been disappointed with Steamforged sculpts. I will say, though, that I am enjoying painting these Godtear minis more than Guild Ball minis. Because if you've listened to our podcast on the Rage Quit Wire, excuse me, should have drank some water this morning. But if you listen to the Rage Quit Wire, you know that I love fantasy, so anything that's like dwarves or elves, monsters, trolls, I'm just gonna love those models. I really get into painting fantasy models a lot. I used to be a big Warhammer Fantasy player, so I just love that. Some of the things that I painted were just awesome. I remember painting Hell Pit Abominations, dragons, skeletons, vampires, demons. All those stuff are really fun to paint to me. So, which I like. That's why I like painting Guild Ball too. But there's not as much fantasy in it. It's just more medieval, which is it's cool. But I mean, painting humans can get kind of boring. This is known. I almost need to get like some tape on my paint table. That way I know where my picture is. Alright. Cool. Alright. Next. This is one thing I like over the plastic models over the Kickstarter models for Rhodri, is he actually has a female dwarf in his household guard, which, I mean, that seems like a small change, but it's just something you don't get to see all the time in fantasy, because I feel like dwarf women are not represented as well. Okay, I gotta move these paints over here. These paints are driving me nuts with my elbow. My hobby desk is kind of a mess. Matter of fact, let's scoot this up a little bit more. There we go. I feel like that's better. This reminds me of there's a line in Lord of the Rings when they're traveling to Helm's Deep, and Gimli's sitting there just running his mouth, and he's like, that leads to the belief that there are no dwarf women and that we just sprout out of the ground. Okay. We're actually going to leave that wood because that one does look mostly like wood. No, so okay. Alright, we got you. As I threw her on the ground. Oh! Yeah, I'm definitely guilty of just mass using my brushes. Which, you know, I know that it's like, oh, you don't always want to mix your metallic paint brushes with your regular ones because they'll start to fray and get all trashed and stuff. I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I don't spend a lot of money on my brushes anyways. If I spent more money on them, I'd probably be a little more cautious of what I used each one for. But since I'm just like, I paid like $10 for like a pack of 8, I'm like, I'm not gonna worry about it. One thing that I thought was interesting about Rhodri is Rhodri doesn't actually have a chest plate. He has a back plate. He doesn't have a chest plate though, which I thought was very interesting. Either that or I didn't notice it and therefore I didn't paint it that way. Crap, I gotta get their handles too. Forgot about that. Okay, that'll be call that good. Let's get these little. I'm not gonna put you guys back on there just for this little paint handle. Yeah, and I don't even know. I think Rhodri may be one of the lesser Guardians. I say lesser. I mean he has his place. But as far as like what Guardians are supposed to do, I think he doesn't do it as well as some of your other choices. Like me personally, I really like Half Tusk. Half Tusk is kind of like just boss man. But I also like Mournblade's really good. Finvar, I'm actually not, like a lot of people love Finvar, I'm actually not a fan of him. Of course, I'm not a ninja guy, so that might be part of my bias. Alright. And last one. Nope, I got another one there. Alright. Okay, we're good. I think we got all our sword hilts and stuff. Alright. Let's do some Silva. Yeah, I like doing, and I might do this down the road with other things, where I paint one model out of these champion groups to get my scheme down and show it to y'all. That way you guys can kind of see what we're working with and where we're going with our scheme. And then just paint the rest of them. But I think obviously people want to see the champion painted, so maybe next time I'll do my test scheme on a follower if it's like this, similar to the champion. I don't know, people can leave comments and let me know what they think about Rhodri in game. I think on table, as far as like looks, he's one of my favorite looking champions. I just need to figure out if I can find ways to make him work the way I want him to. There's just some models, like anybody that has a hit effect just counters him like really hard. Like I think Shale and Landslide are a really good counter pick to Rhodri. Here comes some doggos up the stairs. You know, Mal. Myself again. Alright, we'll make that kind of a leather strap there. Good. Playing that old game right now. Is that metal? No? Okay, move on. It's hard when you got shields too, with a model that's already kind of put together, because it's hard to get behind the shield with your paints. So it's one of those challenging things, like this knee pad is right behind that shield. It's one of the things I miss about assembling models, is you could take care of that kind of stuff before you put a shield on. So like if I had Games Workshop fantasy models and it was a sword and shield kind of unit, you just put the shield on last. Or as soon as you paint up the area that needs to be painted. Alright, I think you're good. You guys have ties in your beard, not the cool things. Do I want that? Hey, there's Jason. What's it, like 2 o'clock in the morning in New Mexico? Well, Jason, since you just joined the chat, I'll show you kind of what I've been doing with Rhodri and where these household guard are kind of going. So that's kind of the paint scheme that we're going with for Rhodri and his household guard. Okay. Alright, let's get that. Cold bones. So you're painting up Morgan then? I don't know, maybe I need to give Morgan another fair shake now that I'm getting kind of the game down a little bit better. I played her a couple of times and I just got kind of ticked off and just kept her in the box now. She's in the boo box. Household guard. To be fair, I haven't painted a lot this week either. Like I said, just going back to work at the school, it's just kind of taking most of my time up. Because then, of course, we still got stuff we got to do online, still got to grade, so painting's kind of fallen to the wayside a little bit, which is fine. But I wanted to stream just for a quick hour before I actually got to go into work today again. I just wanted to stream for a quick hour because I knew I was going to start working on this household guard. Alright. Any other metal? Nope, nope, nope. Alright, I think she's good. Oh no, we got the front of the shield. Yeah, which is, that's kind of weird. Yeah, Morgan's just got that problem. Like, she either needs a model to help her kill a model reliably, or she's just doing something else that somebody else can already do and get more points for. Because obviously she can kill followers, right? Maybe not all followers, but some. But that's not her job. She's not getting extra points for that. If you want to do that, it's like just bring Blackjaw, which Blackjaw is a beast. I got to play him the other day for the first time, and I was like, this feels good. Oath stones. Remember your oaths. There was this really cool, oh man, dwarves used to be so cool in fantasy for Warhammer. There was this Thane who you could buy the item, and it was an oath stone. So it was this dwarf just standing on this stone with these runes on it. And that's a cool, I like that flag, that banner. And basically you would sit on this stone and it made you like stubborn, where you didn't flee as much, and you could set the stone, which meant that you didn't get charged and you didn't get like rear charged, you didn't give up bonuses. And it was just this really cool idea of this dwarf Thane just kind of standing his ground, fulfilling his oath to his dwarf lord. Just really cool thematics in Warhammer Fantasy back in the day. Yeah, Blackjaw is a beast. Honestly, any of the Maelstroms so far, obviously we got, I think, 2 Maelstroms coming out here soon. Any of the Maelstroms are really good. I've never had a game where I'm just like, man, I wish I brought somebody else. Every time I bring a Maelstrom, I'm like, yep, that was pretty good. Pretty good. Paint these little... Probably should have painted the red underneath these first, because that's what I'm going to go with. But here we are. Gotta make sure I got enough time to shower here. Probably paint for about another 25 minutes. See how much we can get done in 25. "25 minutes, we might not get all the base colors down, but we'll get pretty close." You got a chest plate too. This guy must be like the captain of the household guard. Alright, I think we got all of your metal. Nope, you got your back plate. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy diggy hole. If you are a fan of dwarves and you have not partaken in the song Diggy Diggy Hole, go ahead and go listen to that on YouTube real quick. It's about a dwarf living in their mountain home, man. I gotta check. I think I still have that on my phone, and if I don't, I need to put it back on my phone because that song's amazing. But there's an animation with the person that made the song, and it's if you love dwarves, it's good. Give it a listen. Deep, deep in the mine. Oh no, forget that. We're not going to paint that as wood. streaming in my mountain keep. That's a bracer. Alright, he also does not have a chest plate, which I'm trying. I gotta look this up. I don't know. Maybe units that use a lot of shields feel like they don't need a chest plate. I'm gonna have to look up and see if that's historically a thing. Because Rhodri doesn't have a breastplate on, but he has a backplate. This guy doesn't have a breastplate on, he has a backplate. So I'm just kind of curious more than anything else on if that was actually a thing or if that's just an aesthetic choice that the designers of this model chose to do. Oh yeah, man. I'm telling you, you give that song a listen, you'll be singing it all day. Dwarfs won't fly so high. Alright. I have no problem singing either. We were playing on stream before we hit the record button. Chris started singing Landslide. I was like, really? I was like, Chris, are you singing the original or are you singing the Dixie Chicks version? That way I know how to judge you. Yeah, the snakebite leather is really good. Why are the Dixie Chicks un-American? If you say it's because they were protesting during that whole thing, then okay. I would argue protesting's the most American thing you could do. Because they're women voicing their opinions? Is that un-American? I mean, you tell me. I was in the army when they were doing all that stuff, and I'm like, okay. I'm not exactly happy about this war either, that's fine. That whole support the troops thing was stupid. If you say that, you're not supporting the troops. That's not true. That's just something people use to try and shut you up. Okay, Jason, I know that's not true. It's like, I've met your wife. I know you don't believe that. Quit trolling the comments. I got you. I feel like I had to address it, though, just because some people say dumb things, and I'm like, that's not something Jason really believes. Alright, we got a belt. I do need to get a new fine detail brush for sure. This fine detail. is not as fine as it used to be. A little more leather on these models than I thought there was. Alright. Good, 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 good. Alright, I think we can carry on. Yeah, that's what I was saying, man. Let's see here, we're good there. Let's get a buckle. Yeah, and just quick tip for people painting. Like right now I'm painting this kind of belt and other leathers on these models. And whenever you have different layers on a model like this, I always try to paint the lowest layers first if I can. Just because that way if it gets into another spot I don't want it, I can easily cover it up. God, this guy's got his shield so close to his chest. Alright, coming along, coming along. Yeah, see, like some of this area where I got too much brown, I'm actually going to switch that to a different color. But like I said, for now it's okay because we just want our base colors down. Yeah, I mean, that's really kind of what I'm doing is I'm putting the main color behind the shield that I want. And then once I go to my wash step, I'll put like you said, I'll kind of put a little bit more wash behind that. And that'll hopefully cover up most of the stuff that would be visible to people looking at the model. Okay. God, it's just... It is funny though because a lot of times people really love painting like the main person, right? The champion, the captains, the lords. And it's always the same whenever you paint models. I'm going to tell everybody right now, when you paint yourself some models, you're going to put more work into the little guys just because they're smaller and it takes more time to pull out that detail. Okay, cool. I was actually telling Nathan before he hopped on, Jason, we were talking just about some of the models we've been painting. I've been saying that I've been really enjoying painting Godtear models just because, one, the scale of the champions are just cool because you can really pull out a lot more detail and spend some more time on it. And then we were also talking about how the models themselves are just fun to paint because of, you know, the fantasy element of it. Never seen the blue moon glow. Dwarfs won't fly so high. Alright, so we're good there, I think. Alright, I think we got enough snake bite leather down. Alright, so now let's use this gray to slather up these pants. You really can't see on this model too much. Alright, apparently that's the only spots you can see his stunting little legs. You wanna know what, since we can't see as much of his pants, we're gonna make this guy, since he kinda looks like more of the grumbling kind of old veteran, we'll make him have kind of the gray beard. Make him the elder statesman of the house guard. I hope my watch is charging. Ran out of batteries and it didn't look like it was quite charging today. Alright, so yeah. Good. Can't really see a bunch of furs either, which is fine. I almost wonder if that's supposed to be skin. It's kind of interesting, actually. We won't make it skin because it's going to be cold. Okay, that guy's kind of cool. Haha! Sometimes these models just do kind of go flying off this handle. Alright. Telling you, this dude kind of just got a slap of color back there. Alright. Okay, what are we doing next? Let's do our red base with the corn red. How much time we got left? Got about 7 minutes. Let's see if it, so the two colors I need left are red and I think skin tone, and I think we got our base color down. So let's do it. I don't know what, we'll do that, but we're gonna do your hair a different color, probably black. Yeah, I forgot to paint that brown. Balls. And if we paint over some of this red or some of this these silver rivets, that's okay, because what we'll do is we'll come back over it after the wash and make those rivets highlighted with back to their where they're supposed to be. I'm gonna say that'd be cool actually, now that I'm thinking about it, painting this model. Would be cool to see some more lore with some women. We see a lot of like women elves that are warriors. We see like I think it's just interesting when we see these fantasy creatures that have females, but we don't see them in like the storyline as much in fantasy. So I would be really curious to see that more. Alright, let's get this. And then let's get fur red hair. Red hair is pretty easy the way I paint it. I just do a dark red, wash it, highlight back up to the dark red. Kind of use a bright red for the next layer. And then finally highlight with orange. So it's a really easy, effective red hair paint scheme. Do really need a better detailed brush. There's a couple spots where it's getting a little sloppier than I usually like to do. Okay. Okay, we got red, we need red hell. Let's actually get some water, thin that down a little bit. Let's get his little ballad. Hey, what's up? Got a phone call. Yeah, sorry guys, I didn't think you wanted to hear the phone call between me and my wife. uh, but yeah, we're getting there. Just gonna do the skin tone and then paint this dude's black hair, and then we got, oh no, hold on, we got the blue. Let's do the blue. Got to do their shirts, their blue shirts. So we'll do the blue shirts and we'll call it probably good there, just because, like I said, I gotta run to work. Yeah, my wife called and I was like, yep, gonna mute that. Don't think you guys want to hear us talking about school stuff. Yeah, it kills me these guys don't have breastplates. Just looks odd to me. Like I said, maybe it's something with like fighting in shield walls where they feel like they don't need a breastplate. Crap. So I'm not sure. Not sure. Alright, you're fine. Alright. Cool, I think we're good there. Can't, the shield is so tight, man. Whew. I'm telling you. Alright, and then, yeah, sure, I got enough time. We can do the skins on these guys. What's up, Honky?
I like tuna.
Just some tuna, huh?
Yeah.
Breakfast of champions.
What's that mean?
I don't know, I'm just saying random things. See, Ty knows the Diggy Diggy Hole song. Right, Ty?
I don't know what that is.
I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole.
Diggy diggy hole. Digging a hole.
Yep, that's one. Now the internet heard you sing.
Yeah, well, my voice was not that. I thought that was a good one. So.
My voice is beautiful.
Yeah, you got that stuck in my head now.
That's because it's the song that gets stuck in your head.
Diggy diggy hole. Digging hole.
Yeah, you sound like a heat voice.
Okay, I'm playing PlayStation now?
Sure.
Yeah. Alexa. Alexa. Hi.
I just get used for the PlayStation. Missed a spot there with the blue. That's okay. We'll go back over it. I'll show you guys what we got done here in a second once I get these skins done. And obviously I don't have the guy with the black hair done yet, but like I said, Going to work. Gotta open back up that economy and get everything going again. I'll come to you. Alright, so last hand. And then the lady, and then we're done besides Homeboy's black hair. Okay, get your hand. Sorry I'm not using the thing, but like I said, when I'm in a rush, I'm just gonna knock it out. Mama said knock you out. Okay. Alright, so let's get kind of a look at these guys. Like I said, I'm not gonna worry about the black haired dude right now. I'll probably stream again tonight. So you guys will be able to see me finish this up. It'll probably be later, probably around 10 o'clock Eastern time. I'll stream again and finish them up so we can see what they turn out to be. Alright, so we got 2 dwarfs here. Not bad. Got good base colors down. There are 2 dwarfs here. This guy's going to have black hair, so we're not quite there yet. So, really excited. Got our banner ready to go. And then, of course, this is all going to end up looking like Rhodri. So, it really goes to show you how you get from, like, let's use one of our red hair dudes. How you get from, like, this step, where it just looks very unfinished and kind of plain, to Rhodri, who has a good wash on him, some highlights, and some other effects that we're going to do tonight. So hopefully you guys had fun hanging out. Like I said, around 10 o'clock Eastern time, I'll go ahead and stream again and finish up these models on stream. It'll be on the Rage Quit Wire YouTube channel, and I'll still stream to the Facebook channel for the Final Round Game Shop. And I want to thank Jacob for letting me use models and stuff from his store to help paint his stuff up and help me get more content out there. We are going to, once I'm done with these guys, tomorrow we'll actually move back to painting some 40K stuff. So if you like painting Nurgle Marines and some Nurgle Daemons, then yeah, we'll definitely be painting that stuff tomorrow. No problem, Nathan. Thanks for hanging out. I really enjoy having people in the chat, so that's something that makes it more entertaining to paint. And honestly, sometimes I just change up stuff I paint when I have people talking in the chat. They're like, hey, have you tried this? I'm like, no, let's try that. So we'll talk to y'all next time. Until then, make sure that you guys roll dice, throw salt, and I'm out.